Hello, everyone. My name is Nikki Gregory, and I'm the Programme Manager for Creative Industries and in the design and print area. So my colleague Jenny looks after the fine art area, and I am more on the digital side, so digital graphic design, photography, that sort of thing. So my colleague Jackie is going to be manning the chat line. So if you've got any questions whilst I'm going through my my presentation, just drop them down in the chat, and if Jackie can answer them, then she will answer them if they're kind of generic questions, and any specialist questions about my area I will answer at the end. Okay, so I'll just start off and just take you through. So welcome and hello. Graphic design, photography and interior design, and also some related courses like illustration, printmaking and bookbinding. That's my area. So anything to do with you know, the vocational side really, but also some more adult community courses like printmaking, which people do for hobbies. And I also teach on some graphic design courses. So in my area, courses cover graphic design, which includes training courses in Photoshop, InDesign and Illustrator, Adobe software, which is the industry standard software that you, if you want a career in graphic design, you would need to know. Interior design, and then again we do training courses in SketchUp and AutoCAD, photography and filmmaking, and again there are training courses in video editing as well with Premiere Pro, which is an Adobe program. We do some web design, and that should be growing next year. There is a different web design offer in the business school, but in our area, in the art school, there is web design with a more creative, with the emphasis on what it looks like and how what the images look like and how it navigates, but more than kind of systems engineering, which is more to do with how, you know, designing a form and that sort of thing, which they have quite a lot of courses in the business school about web design in that sense, but ours is more to do with the visual side of it. Printmaking, illustration, bookbinding, and some very popular courses in lettering and calligraphy. But in the art school and under Jenny's area, we also offer painting and drawing, fashion and textiles, floristry, horticulture, woodwork, picture framing and upholstery, oil painting, restoration, fused and stained glass, ceramics, hand building, throwing and sculpture. And sometimes people find that it's lovely to do a blend of vocational courses, which are more in my area, maybe a qualification that leads them to a career change, but along with something like oil painting restoration, which they might do because they enjoy it, or life drawing, which is something that is really good and feeds into any course that you might do in graphic design, for instance. Interior design would benefit from, you know, from you doing any sort of fashion and textiles or drawing courses, or, you know, anything that you do that is creative is going to feed into other things that you do that are creative. I mean, the aim is to make you a rounded and well-developed person, a creative person, and not just a specialist in only one area. So in my area, we have some really great facilities. It's a new art college, a new art school that was built about 5 years ago when we moved from Twickenham. So everything is pretty new and very well equipped. Some of the best equipped studios I've been in an educational setting that I can remember. So from a graphics point of view, we've got a purpose-built graphics room on the top floor of the art school with 15 Macs, and there's a shot of it. So it's kind of, we've got a warm wooden interior, and it's a very pleasant room to work in. I work in there a lot. But there's a photography studio, which there's some pictures of on the next slide, and a very well-equipped printmaking room downstairs with 2 presses. There's a bookbinding room with some heavy-duty benches for making, you know, things that require quite a lot of force, or you know, heavy glues and that sort of thing, hammering. So, you know, we've got rooms that are suitable for different purposes. Qualifications is all in my area. And as I say, we offer a range of qualifications from level 1 to level 3 in interior design, graphic design and photography. And then we also offer something called advanced practice, which is for people who've already got quite well developed existing creative skills and want to develop their own professional practice. So we've got advanced practice courses in filmmaking, which ran last year, in photography, and there's one in digital design that we're launching this September. And there is also one in glass and one in ceramics, which is in the fine art area. And those are on a Friday. And the idea of those advanced practice courses is that people will come in on a Friday and kind of cross over, so that different disciplines will get to know each other and maybe use each other. So photographers might be able to work for the ceramicists and take the photos of their work for them that they can put up on their website, that sort of thing. You know, we're aiming at kind of cross-fertilization, and to have that Friday as a kind of advanced day in the art school, so that people on those advanced practice courses can, you know, can meet each other, go into each other's classes, and generally benefit from working in a bigger group as well as their small specialist groups. And then we also offer these non-qualification courses in Adobe CC. They're very popular. They're kind of training courses. So there's an introduction to Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, followed, that takes 1 term, and then that's followed by an intermediate in Photoshop, InDesign and Illustrator, all taught together and how they work together. And that takes another term. So you would do 2 terms of those programs. And by the end of that, you should have a fairly good degree of confidence in those programs. And you could well do those alongside a qualification. So if, for instance, you did a level 2 in graphic design, there's no time on the level 2 to teach you how to use the programs from start to finish. So it would help to do a PII course, that's Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator course, alongside, so that your program skills are improving as your design skills are improving, because people sometimes struggle to get to grips with the programs if they're only just doing the graphic design course, and you can't do graphic design anymore without being able to use the programs. So it is quite crucial to get your program skills. And we offer courses in the daytime, the evenings and the weekends to fit around your schedule. This is the printmaking studio, which is on the ground floor. So you can see there that we've got 2 presses. You can just see one, and there's the other one on the other side there. People have done most beautiful work, and there's always an exhibition in the atrium every year of the printmakers' work, and it's always absolutely stunning. A lot of people come and just do this for pleasure. We offer a whole range of untutored and tutored courses, which are all available for you to see on the website. It's very popular and the classes fill up, and I'll come to what we're planning to do in September in a little while. This is the photography studio. Again, we've got some fantastic equipment. It's on the top floor of the photography studio. So if you're doing, for instance, a studio lighting unit, which there is in some of the qualifications, then you know, you'd be able to, you know, do plenty of studio work inside on site in the college. You'd need to be in the college to do that. And we've also got green screens, and but we have got a few cameras, but generally speaking, it's always best if you've got your own. If you're serious about doing a photography course, you really need your own DSLR camera, so that you can learn your own camera and get confident with your own camera, rather than just trying to make do with one of ours, borrowing one of ours. I mean, it's okay for 1 or 2 sessions, but really, if you're going to do more than, you know, just a little bit, and you want to take it seriously and you want to learn, you need your own camera, really. You've got some great photography tutors. This is a little bit about developing your creativity. So with our vocational courses, we really aim to increase your technical and your creative confidence through a series of project-led assignments designed to stretch and challenge your program knowledge and your design skills. Most of our art tutors also work as professional designers. So, you know, they might teach some of the time, but they're also working in their field as a practicing professional, and that is something that the students really benefit from, because they get the experience of people actually working in the industry. So, for instance, with interior design, Natalie, our level 3 tutor, might be working on developing a conference centre or something like that, designing the interior of a conference centre, and she will actually take her students along and set them that project to do, which she is actually working on herself, so that you get experience of what it is to work on a real life project and deadlines and so on. And similarly in graphic design, I might set you a project to design a packaging for a real life supermarket, say, or something along those lines. And we're hoping even more, I was just about to do this when lockdown happened, to liaise more strongly with local design companies, so that we can offer, on level 3 courses particularly, we can offer work placements to students in the local vicinity, with local companies who are happy to take students on for that reason, to work there, maybe just get their lunch paid and travel paid for the first 6 weeks, and hopefully that might lead to a job. So this is a design brief, and this is a level 2 design brief, in which they've been asked to design a travel poster as their first initial assessment project, so that I can just see what skills people have to begin with, and then take it from there. And then the next part of it is for them to design a book on a subject of their choice. So you can see here, I hope, that they've chosen to do some really interesting subjects this year. And one of them has done a book about recovering from drug addiction, which is something that's going to be actually used. A counselling company has asked her if they can have the book that she's produced this year and use it with their customers, their clients, because it's just so fresh and so innovative and so well done. There's another one about listening to your baby, and another one about problems with sexual relationships. So you see that they're not shy about what they do. They're not just doing books about Twickenham or something like that. They're doing some really creative, interesting stuff, and maybe they've got an app to go with it. So the one about the one that you can see with the red and black, she's got an app that goes with hers and a website that goes with the whole thing. And she's building up a great range of stories about for young people to read, to help them get to grips with problems they encounter with sexual relations, which is an area which is just not talked about enough. So I feel that being explorative is something about your subject matter, is something that I definitely want to encourage, and across the board, in photography, in graphics, in interior design, and throughout this area of the art school. Now, blended learning, with COVID, things have taken a bit of a turn, and we've all had to learn to work online over the last 3 months, and in some ways there are some great things about it, and there are some not so great things about it. So from September, at the moment, as things stand, all of our art qualifications, so that could be from level 1 up to level 3 and advanced practice, will take place on site as well as online. So we would probably have the first few lessons on site, so that you would get to know each other and meet your tutor, and then maybe have a couple of lessons online so that you're at home. And you might well do a one-to-one tutorial, which works very well as on a one-to-one basis. Or when you've been set a project and you know what it is that you've got to do, then it's easy to work at home. But sometimes you will need to come in. So it'll be a blended course, a blended delivery, where some weeks you'll be in, and that will be decided by the tutor at the beginning of the course, depending on what happens between now and then. But there will be very limited numbers. At the moment, it's 6. Possibly that might go up to 8. We don't know at the moment. There's a lot of unknowns at the moment about how many people we can have in the classroom. But at the moment, in most of my area, it's 6 people. Some courses, such as those in printmaking, lettering and calligraphy and bookbinding, can't be delivered online, so they will have to be on site, as they always were, but we've reduced class numbers, so we think 6 again, but the situation is ever changing. That should say down there. Enrolment, I don't know whether Jackie's answered a lot of your questions about enrolment, but it's pretty straightforward. Just to say, though, that for qualification courses, you will need an interview, usually with me, just to make sure that the course is right for you and that you're right for the course. So you put in your application and you'll be offered an interview slot, and that will be done over the telephone or in an MS Teams interview, and it should take about 20 minutes. And you will need to send us or send us any of your certificates. So we do need some evidence that you've got a level 2 if you're going to do a level 3, or that you can show a competence. So there are online tests that we can offer to take you, but that would all come up at the interview. So then you'll be sent an enrolment form to complete, and then you'll send it back to me. I'll sign it and forward it to the enrolments team, and they'll contact you and you'll pay and enrol. For non-qualification courses, such as our training courses in SketchUp and so on, you don't need an interview, but you do need to be seen by learner services to make sure that you're eligible. And if you want any concessions, then that's something that learner services would need to talk to you about. And so you would definitely need some sort of contact with them and some sort of brief interview with them. But only for the qualifications only do you need an academic interview with me, where you need to show your certificates. And online courses, you should receive an invite to join the class before the start time, and your tutor will arrange that with you. How long before the start time is something to be agreed with the tutor at the time. Just a little bit of social media here, the Instagram address, the Twitter address, and there's quite a lot of information online about, so here is this presentation. It will be available for you to look at on our website. So all these addresses and everything will be able to access through those. This is our generic art at RAC address, and that is our art administrator, Jo Gale, and she can help with all sorts of queries and questions and direct you to the right person. The fees information is all online. You can find lots of information about that, and you can keep up to date with us by logging onto the website and looking at everything. And again, it's available to view again or on our website, so you can refer to it as needed. So that's the end of my slideshow. Thank you very much. And I hope I've given you some information that's useful and hopefully inspired you to come and join us and work towards a qualification or just do something for your own enjoyment. Questions?
Hi, Nikki. We've got a question for you.
Right.
So I'm just going to read it out. So hello, Interior Design. I'm completing level 2 and SketchUp at RAC, interested in level 3, and just wanted to know if the level 3 projects have to be mostly hand-drawn, as with level 2, or can I use SketchUp to complete the projects?
Okay, absolutely. You could use SketchUp, and the more you do, the better it will be for you, because the more practice you get. You know, we want you to become a working professional, able to use the software, and as well as do isometric drawing and that sort of thing. So absolutely, definitely, you should think about using any digital skills you've got. At level 3, it's, you know, whatever you can do that broadens your portfolio and gives you confidence in the skills you're developing and have started to develop. Yes, and even think about doing AutoCAD as well if you're doing level 3 interior design, because that's, you know, something that is going to be used in your professional life if you work for another company, or even if you work for yourself. You know, for interior architecture particularly, it's a professional sort of step up from SketchUp. Does that answer your question?
Nikki, that's great, thank you. Yes, the attendee says that's perfect. If anyone's got any more questions, we're just going to pause for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and just let anyone type in anything if they've got it. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. So, Nikki, I'll just wait for a couple of seconds, okay?
Absolutely.
Nikki, I think you've answered everyone's questions. If you'd like to wrap up.
Okay. Do I need to say anything else, Jackie? Or
no? I just think say goodbye.
Goodbye, 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 and I hope to see you in September.